Hello and welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us for the transitioning from PowerPoint to Zoho Show session. I'm Gautami from the show team and I'll be your host for today. With me you have Loshni and Sini. Loshni will take you through the product demo and Sini will be available to answer all your questions and clarifications about show. Let's start with a quick intro about Zoho. Zoho is a bootstrapped and privately owned company committed to its employees and customers. Founded in 1996, we've been in the business for over 29 years now with 55 plus apps, serving over 120 million users spread across 150 countries. Now, before we begin the session, I have a quick question for you all. We've all used PPT at some point, right? What is one common problem you faced while creating a presentation in PPT? We'll run a poll now and I request you all to answer. Okay, great. Looks like we've all had similar issues and we aren't alone. According to the big PowerPoint study, an average user spends 1 hour creating PowerPoint presentations and nearly 40% of it is lost in formatting alone. And that is almost 8 hours a month of work lost to repetitive and non-strategic work. Apart from this, the other time-consuming tasks include transferring old slides to new design, searching and integrating visuals, and searching for the most recent templates. All this isn't only time-consuming, but is a massive productivity drain. That is why many users are making the switch to Zoho Show. And since our launch in 2006, we've seen a steady 15% year-over-year growth in users, a clear sign the teams are ready for the change. In fact, 82% of our imports are PowerPoint files. The most important part of Zoho that we take pride in is our data privacy and security. We are GDPR compliant, SOC2 Type 2 compliant, and ISO 27001 certified. We are also HIPAA compliant, which is a major compliance policy in the healthcare sector. All your files are encrypted at transit and rest. We also use two-factor authentication to ensure that your logins are safe and secured. Now let's take a quick look at our key features. Show has over 50 templates and over 100 plus slide templates spread across different categories. These templates are pre-designed and completely customizable to match your branding needs. With multiple add-ons, you do not have to hunt for visuals that are high-res and copyright-free. You can access all of this within the Show app itself. Diagrams and smart elements can help you show your content visually engaging. You can also use Show's real-time collaboration to collaborate with your teams and with anyone outside of your organization. Once all this is done, you can deliver your presentations using Livecast by seamlessly integrating live streaming video directly into your presentation slides, publish them on social media channels, websites or blogs, or broadcast them to a wider audience. Let's take a look at some of these features that sets Show apart from our competitors. We'll start with the creation part. Show is entirely cloud-based. That means you can create, design, collaborate, and deliver presentations from anywhere, anytime. And all your presentations are saved to the cloud automatically. One of my favorite features of Show is Show's minimalistic and intuitive interface. Your formatting options depend on the elements that you choose, and now you can save so much more time. Show has multiple templates spread across different categories. So if you're looking for a HR presentation deck, marketing, or a deck for your startup, or one for your personal use, we've got you covered. All these templates can be completely customizable according to your requirement. Show has a centralized library where you can store, access all your brand assets like templates, slides, and fonts. This ensures that there is consistency across the departments in your organization. Now we're done with the creation part. Let's move on to the design part of it. Show provides multiple add-ons. So if it's for your business use or your personal use, you can add visuals without switching multiple tabs. We all know data is vital for any business. So with the data fields feature in Show, you can store data and access it anywhere across your presentation. And also use external data linking to source data from sheets and create tables and charts without any hassle. While we're talking about data here, Show also has smart elements with which you can enhance the way your data appears on a slide, making it look visually interesting. We'll move on to the collaboration part of it. Show assists in real-time collaboration. So whether you're working with your team or outside your organization, you can create and design decks together. You can also provide role-based access to have complete control over your deck. While collaborating with multiple team members, there might be a lot of edits. With the version history feature, you can track the history, view the edited slides, and restore the version that you prefer. While externally publishing the presentation, there is also concern about who has access to it. So you can also use this analyzing using the access stats to gather information about it. Show is deeply integrated with the Zoho ecosystem, and we also have many add-ons as we discussed before. But in case that's not enough, and you can also use automation tools like Zapier and Zoho Flow to link any of your preferred apps with Show and create presentations seamlessly. Now let's move on to delivering the presentation. With Show's new feature Livecast, you can add a narrative to your presentation. So if you want to pop up for the introduction or the question and answer session, you can use Livecast and make your video feed appear only on the slides you choose, where you feel your presence matters the most. Apart from presenting your decks, you can also publish your presentations on social media sites or websites or blogs. You can still have complete control over your presentations and customize the embed, download, translation settings according to your preference. And without worrying about any third-party tools, with the broadcast option, you can add co-presenters and deliver your presentation to anyone across the globe. With Show, you can also turn your iOS or Android device into a remote and cast your presentations on a larger display. Now that we've seen an overview of these features, I'll hand over the session to Loshni, who will take you through a quick demo of exporting and importing PowerPoint presentations to Show.
Thank you, Gautami. Thank you, Gautami. Hello all, I'm Loshni from the Show team, and I'll be guiding you through a quick demo of Zoho Show. So, as Gautami said, most of us are familiar with PowerPoint, and probably for many of us, when we think of the word presentation, the word PPT is something that comes on top of our mind. But if you are looking for a new software with a fresh perspective, then Zoho Show is a must try. So since we are talking about transitioning from PowerPoint to Zoho Show, let's start with how you can export a presentation from PowerPoint and start working on it using Show. So let me share my screen. So as many of you might know, this is the landing page, listing page of PowerPoint. And let's assume that this was the pitch deck I was working on previously. So let me open it. So now to export this presentation, I just have to click on File. Uh, I just have to click on File. Then under Create a Copy, click on Download a Copy. So now once you do this, a copy of this presentation will be saved to your system. And after that, our work here is done. So let's go to Show. Now this is the listing page of Zoho Show. So once you sign in or sign up to Show, this will be the default view. And if you have already used Show, you'll be able to view all the recent presentations you have created and accessed. The presentations that have been shared with you will be available under the Shared with Me window. And if you have marked any of these presentations as your favorites, you'll be able to find them under the favorites. So with Show, you can also work on your presentations even when you're offline, once you set up the offline mode. So let's say you're traveling and you still want to complete your presentation, you can do that with Show. So by default, the last 5 presentations you were working on will be available to you for to edit offline. And the changes you make while you're offline will be synced back when you're back online. Now moving on to library. So library is a premium feature of Show and it will be available to you if you're part of Zoho Work Drive, Zoho One or Zoho Workplace. Seems like there's a bit of an internet issue over here. Yeah, okay, done. So what is library? Library is a central repository where you can store your brand specific themes, templates, slides, and fonts. So let's take the example of about the organization presentation. So this can be used across your organization by many different departments. So instead of having to create the presentation over and over again, uh, basically your employees can make use of the presentation template that you have stored in the library. Similarly, there are slides like about the organization that are used across many presentations. So instead of having to redesign them over and over again, they can be simply sourced from the organization library. You can also store your brand specific fonts in the library. The admins will be able to add new templates and fonts to the library, while the members will be able to access them and request the admins to add new ones. Moving on to gallery, we have different themes here. And before you could start creating a presentation with the theme available, you can also change the font styles and the colors of the theme and start creating a presentation there. And templates, we have over 100 templates in Show across various categories. We also have industry specific templates. We also have function specific templates for sales, marketing, and HR teams. And if you are an individual user, you can also make use of our portfolio templates, education templates. And if you're a student who is going to present your assignment or your project to your class, then you can also make use of the templates that are available in the student section. Apart from that, we also have a few personal templates which you can make use of. Moving on to slide templates. Let's consider that you're working on a presentation and you're running out of design ideas for a particular slide. So in that case, you can just take up one of the slide templates that are available in Show and use it. We also have different types of slides over here. We have cover slides, content slide, timeline slide, testimonial slides, and a lot of slides here, which you can make use of. Now, if you want to create a presentation from scratch, you can just click on the new presentation button and start creating. But in our case, we have already created a presentation using PowerPoint and we just want to continue working on that with Show. So I'll use the upload option here in the top. Click on the upload icon. Apart from the PPTX format, You can also upload presentations in the following in the formats that are mentioned here. So now let me source the file. Click on upload. While this presentation is uploading, kindly let us know like how you'd like to create a presentation. Do you like to start from scratch, or do you like to use your themes or templates to start with? So we are running a poll. Please do participate in it. Now this presentation has been successfully imported. So let me open it. Okay. Now this is shows editor view, and you can design, collaborate on, and deliver your slides from here. If you are a PowerPoint user, or if you have used PowerPoint at any point of your life, then you will be used to the top band in the UI of PowerPoint, where we have different tabs and you navigate through different tabs to find different tools and options. But this is it's a bit different in show, and it's much easier to. So let's say I just have to edit the text element here. So to do that, I just have to click on it, and all the text formatting options are available to me in the right pane. So you don't have to search for any particular option or feature in show. Now moving on to the insert pane, let's start with text. So under text, we have text box, symbols, and data fields. So you might be wondering what data fields are. So now you can use data fields to store numeric and alphanumeric values, and you can access them across your presentation. So let's say, for example, in this presentation, let's take slide 13. We have mentioned the year in various places. So let's say I have to make changes to the year. In that case, you might have to search for where and all you've mentioned the year and edit it manually. Can also lead to errors, and it's also time consuming. So instead, what I can do is I can store it as a data field and add the data field to the slide. And when I want to edit the year, I can just edit the value stored in the data field. So it is reflected across your presentation. So let's see how we can do this. Again, go to text, click on data fields, and click on add new to create one. So let's name it as year. Here you can enter a direct numeric or alphanumeric value, or you can link data from the spreadsheet which you have stored in WorkDrive and insert it as a chart or table. We'll be looking at that a little bit later. But for now, let me add the value as 2025 and save it. Now from here, you can directly insert the data field to a slide, or you can close it. And let me say I want to add the data field here. You just have to insert the dollar icon to access the data fields you have created. And then let's add the data field to the slide. So now when you start presenting this particular slide to your audience, the value you have stored in your data field will be visible to them. So now let's say I want to change the value that I've stored. I want the year to be 2026 or 2027. Now what I have to do is just go to data fields again and click on manage, and just edit the value here as 2026 and save it again. Now when you start presenting the slide again, the values will be changed. It's not just slide specific, but it's presentation specific. So it reduces a lot of manual errors, and it also saves a lot of time. Now, apart from that, we also have different symbols and different text placeholders which you can make use of while creating your presentation. Now, if you want your presentation to be more engaging to your audience, you definitely want to add pictures and videos to your presentation. You can do that with the options available in the media tab. As for the images, you can either upload them from your system, or you can pick the images you have stored in WorkDrive, Or if you have a URL of a specific image which you'd like to add, you can just copy paste the URL and insert it to your slides instead of having to download them. Or if you're just looking for some stock visuals, you can also source it from Pexels add-on once you install it. And if you're working on a more informal kind of presentation, you can also make use of the Jiffy add-on. We also have different types of GIFs and stickers which you can make use of. Now let's say you're going to share this presentation with your remote audience. In that case, if you want to give more context to a specific slide, which is complex to understand, the best solution to do this would be to record a video or audio of yourself explaining that particular slide and attaching it to your presentation. So with Show, you don't have to search for third-party softwares where you can record yourself. You can record your audios or videos right from within Show, or if you already have a recorded audio, you can also upload it to Show and add it to your presentations. Now let's say you are going to present to your live audience, and in a particular slide, if you would like your audience to view your video feed, you can make use of this livecast feature. So if you're a PowerPoint user, you'll be familiar with this feature. It's called Cameo in PowerPoint. You can also change the background of your camera shape. You can also change the shape of it and insert it to your slide. And when you start presenting the slide, your video feed will be displayed to your audience. Now, apart from that, if you'd like to insert any websites, web pages to your presentation, you can also do that by copy pasting the embed code. Then by copy pasting, the website will be inserted to your presentation slide as an iframe. We also have different shapes which you can make use of while designing your slides. You can also draw your own shapes with Show. There are smart elements like gauges, timers, digital clocks, and indicators which you can add to your presentation slides. You can also make use of silhouettes of business people, hand gestures, and currencies to make it more visually appealing. Now, coming to the next most important part of any presentations, data. So in Show, we have different types of table and chart presets. As you can see, you can also change the color of the table. There are also different types of table which you can make use of. And there are also different charts which you can add to your presentation slides. But the most interesting part of it all is that you don't have to enter any of the data manually to add a table or slide, table or chart to your presentation. So let's see how we can do that. Let's go to the financials part of this presentation. Let us assume that I want to list down all the revenue streams in a separate slide. So let me create a slide for it. And let's name it as revenue streams. Now let's assume that I have already created a spreadsheet with the details in it, which I've stored in OneDrive. So with Show, I don't have to again manually create it. Instead, what I can do is go to data art. Since I want to insert it as a table, I'll choose a table preset. For this table, I'd like to go with this one. And under the link data option, click on insert spreadsheet. Now this window will show all the files and the folders I've stored in the work drive. Let me search for revenue streams. This is the sheet I want, so I'll pick it. Now this window shows the preview of the sheet I've chosen. All I have to do is select the cell range which I would like to add as a table into my presentation and click on update. So after this, I can either go back and change the cell range, or I can remove it, or if I'm okay with it, I can just insert it as a table. Yeah. Now we have inserted a table without having to do any manual work. So similarly, you can also insert a chart by linking data from the spreadsheet you have stored in OneDrive. Moving on, While creating a presentation, you don't have to use simple text boxes to always list down your content. Instead, you can make use of diagrams to make it more visually appealing. When you use diagrams, it's also easier for your audience to understand your content. So we have 4 different types of diagrams in show. We have list, process, pyramid, and cycle. So you can also change the number of levels which you want the diagram to have, and you can just click on it to simply add it to your presentation. Now, as we were talking about visually engaging presentations, we also have a lot of add-ons in show which you can make use of. You can add your Twitter feed to your presentations. You can also add YouTube videos. You can bring in data from Zoho Survey, Zoho Sprints, and Zoho Analytics if you're a Zoho user. And if you want to insert small icons to give more context to your content, you can also use Icon Finder and Feather Icon add-ons. And you can also get simple illustrations from the Humans add-ons. And if you're working on a more informal kind of presentation, you can also use the Twemojis add-ons to insert emojis to your slides. Now, after this, once you're done with creating your slides, you can also add animations and transitions to your slides and slide elements using the Animate tab in the right pane. Now, once you're done with that, we are done with the creation and designing part of the presentation. Now, let's move on to the collaboration part. So, to collaborate, first you need to share your slides or your presentation with your colleagues. So to do that, click on the share icon at the top right corner and click on invite collaborator. Now you can just type the name of your collaborator and set the access level which you'd like them to have and click on share. Or if you want to share this presentation with an external stakeholder, you can also create a new external share link. You can give a name for your reference. You can also set a password. You can also enable or disable download and printing options and request user data like name, phone number, or email address each time someone is trying to access your presentation. Now, once you share this presentation with your colleagues, you will be able to collaborate with them real time. And in the review tab, you'll also be able to make comments and tag your colleagues and have a conversation with them real time. So when 2 or 3 members start working on this presentation simultaneously, there'll be a lot of changes that are being made. So you can track all the versions under the versions tab here. And you can also revert to that particular version or preview the version anytime you want. Now, you can also publish your presentations with show. So to do that, again, click on the share icon and click on the publish button. So you can either publish your presentation within your organization or to the external world. So if you want to share it across departments or if you want to embed this particular presentation in your internal forum post, then you can publish this presentation just within your organization. Or if you want to share this presentation to the external world, say you want to embed it in your blog posts or your websites, you can share it to the external world, publish it to the external world. Also check the serve the latest version checkbox to ensure that all the changes you are making to the presentation, even after you publish it, are reflected to the published presentation. Now let me select to the external world and publish it. Now, after you publish the presentation, you will be able to copy the link from here and share it with anyone. You will also be able to share the published presentation in your social media, or you can send a mail. And under the advanced option, you can customize the view of the publish window. And if you want to embed this presentation anywhere in your forum posts or your websites, you can also make use of the embed options here. You can copy the embed code. You can also customize the embed properties before you could copy the code. You can also remove the publish anytime you want. Now, apart from this, you can also start a broadcast session if you want to present your presentation to a remote audience. So to do that, again, click on the share button and click on the broadcast button here. Now this will open a new broadcast window. So from here, before you could start the broadcast session, you can just copy the URL of the session and share it with anyone who would like to invite. Or if you have added any collaborators to this presentation, you can also add them as your co-presenters. And you can also invite your participants individually by manually tapping out the email addresses. Once you're done with that, you can start the session. Now in the right pane, you will be able to view the slide that's upcoming. You will also be able to view the slide notes for the current slide. And under the slides preview tab, you will be able to view all the slides that are upcoming. You can also chat with your participants using the chat window. And under the people window, you'll be able to view all the presenters, co-presenters, and the participants that are taking part in the broadcast session. You can also transfer control to your co-presenters. And from here, you can also get the URL of the broadcast session just in case you need it. Or you can again invite your participants using the invite button. So let's say you want your audience to focus on your narrative just for a little while. So instead of focusing on your deck, you can also make use of the blackout option available here. So once you're done with presenting the slides, you can stop the broadcast to end the broadcast session. So now once you click on stop broadcast button, you can allow your participants to download or save the presentation. So this option will be available to them for 30 minutes after you end the session. Okay, just click on allow and click on exit broadcast session to end this session. So now with that, we have come to an end of this demo. I'd like Gautami to take over.